And there we are.
And there we are. Hello,
We are
good
live.
evening. Good evening, everyone. How's
How's
it
everyone
going?
doing out there tonight?
Fantastic Wednesday evening.
Yes, Wednesday evening, and fall is upon us.
Fall is upon us. Who feels that cool breeze in the air?
Yeah, I was totally loving it. For those of you just joining us, my name is John Gardner, and this is my law partner and my wife, Radlin Mendoza. And we are the immigration law firm Gardner and Mendoza. And we have been practicing immigration law for about 24 years now, 23.
20 something, 20
Yeah.
plus. It's been a long time.
20 plus. And we come to you every Wednesday night, or most Wednesday nights, I should say, from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock. And we come on for 1 hour, and we like to give you immigration law updates, other legal updates that we think will be helpful. And most importantly, we like to answer your questions. So bring your immigration questions and put them in the chat, and we will try to get to them and answer them as best we can. I have to warn you that what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not legal advice, but we still want you to bring your questions so that we can answer them. And I also want to say hi to our TikTok family out here. We always have people joining us.
Hello from Jamaica
on
Can I see that?
TikTok. Probably. Radlin has a lot of TikTok followers. How many is it now?
I mean, in the big scheme of things, I mean, it's like it's 20,000.
20,000.
20,000. Thank you guys. Thank you for the
thank you.
20K.
And so we have a lot of
20.8. I
people
appreciate
that
that.
join us on TikTok. For those of you who are not really familiar with TikTok, it is a fun and wonderful way to get information on all kinds of things. I mean, there are plenty of TikToks of dogs jumping in swimming pools filled with Jello, but there are also a lot of TikToks with a lot of really useful information from attorneys and doctors, financial advisors. And so if you haven't checked it out, you should. And specifically, you should look for Radlin.
Oh yeah, come find me. Come find me. It is Immigration Lawyer One. So thank you guys. Thanks for joining. And TikTok brings the questions. Lots of questions come from TikTok because there are 20,000
I will
people.
tell you, folks, on TikTok, we will get to your questions, but they're harder to read because they're scrolling through so quickly. And so, especially if you have a longer question, I would really encourage you to jump over to the Facebook page. Tell them how to do that.
Gardner Mendoza Law.
Gardner
Facebook.
Mendoza Law. Okay. So get over to the Facebook page, and if you post your question there, it's easier for us to see. We can read it, we can post it, and really get a good look at it. Okay. So
good evening, Miss Lovely. Good evening, Michael. Michael he's here for the updates. Michael, the updates.
We have some updates tonight.
The updates aren't the best, but not a lot of forward movement. I think if I recall, you're waiting on an immigrant visa case, and those things are moving pretty slowly still. But yeah, we have a couple of updates regarding just the future and the goals.
Yeah, we do have some updates, and we have some questions that are starting to come in here. And we like to kind of, chat a little bit at the beginning just to let all the questions start to get loaded up so that we can take them one after the other once they are there. And we were talking about being fall. Fall is in the air. We have a nice breeze here. For those of you joining us from other states in the United States or from other countries around the world, our office is physically located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, which is on the east coast of the United States. And we have clients from all over the place. We have clients all over the United States. We have clients all over the world. So wherever you are, we can absolutely help you. But that's where we are physically located. And where we are, fall is starting to show up. The air is getting a little cooler. I had my first soccer practice tonight. I'm coaching my daughter's soccer team, which is one of the absolute best things in the world. I love it more than almost anything. And it's a ton of fun. But yeah, it was hot today. But when we were coming,
it was hot today.
The cold air was starting to come in. And the leaves are falling.
All right. So we have a couple of questions coming in. But before we get to that, just want to mention that our Norfolk office, our USCIS field office is located in Norfolk, Virginia, and it's about 20 minutes from our office. And so that's where they do green card interviews, they do naturalizations, there's an application support center where they do biometrics. So it's a full service immigration field office. And there was a meeting today, and our field office director, his name is Frank Reffel, and he calls it coffee with the FOD, coffee with the field office director. So cute. And it was the first in-person meeting that we've had since COVID, which was awesome. It was awesome to get back into the immigration office in front of the supervisors and the field office director, the FOD. And there were also some people on Zoom. So in person, there weren't too many of us. There were maybe 10 people in person. And then probably, I don't know how many people on Zoom, but usually there were 50 or 60 during COVID. But it was a really great meeting. And my two biggest takeaways from going to that meeting, I did do a quick TikTok video about it earlier. Number one is that, in April, USCIS was talking about waiving interviews, and we had not heard, none of our cases, our interviews were not getting waived, and we were still attending immigration interviews. So we weren't really sure how that was working, how that was rolling out. So today they said all interviews for I-485s are waived. So if your green card application is going to a service center, generally speaking, they are going to be waived. Now, that said, if your case is incomplete when you file it, so if you file your case without a medical, if you are a married couple and you file your case without the bona fide marriage documents so that they can approve the case, then you may be getting a request for evidence. So our typical practice has been that, a lot of times our clients want to file the green card application right away and they can't get their medical done, right? So you can always file the medical at the interview. So if there is no interview, then of course we've got to send that medical in if there's a request for evidence. We've been recently getting requests for evidence for bona fide marriage documents because, again, our practice has been for the past 22 years. It was to, if you were going to appear at an interview because they were mandatory, we would basically submit the bona fide marriage documentation at the time of the interview and discuss what these documents were. And that's how we did it. That's how we did it for 22 years. And so today was just an announcement. We're trying to find clarification, like, okay, how is this going to work? Across the board, all interviews are waived for I-485 cases. And they will call you in for an interview if they need to call you in for an interview. So that is really great news. It's going to cut down a lot on just the time that it takes the officers to adjudicate those cases and to be there with those clients. And the second takeaway was that they have a huge initiative to approve all forms within 6 months. So yes, Michael, the I-130 falls underneath that, the I-485, the N-400, all the forms there. The initiative is to approve within 6 months. I was a little bit confused about this as to when this was starting, but it's supposedly starting right now, and they're just using technology to try to get this done. So those were my two biggest takeaways that really apply to anyone wherever you are. Even though this is a local field office, this is what's going on all across the country with regard to adjudication. So hopefully that has been helpful. If you guys have any questions about that, feel free to put them in the comments. Is it gonna affect your case right now? Are we gonna go from I just filed to 6 months overnight? Probably not. But again, I have a lot of followers on TikTok, and I see a lot of comments. And some people's cases I-130s are approved within 3 months, no interview, or an interview within 5. So there are things that are happening that seem to go along with what they said today with regard to processing things faster, and also waiving the interview. We have not, again, had an interview waived, but that doesn't mean anything because they're really just starting to roll it out right now. So great. It's all good news. And one of the supervisors was a little cynical today after the meeting, and she said, well, get used to it now, because if we have a new administration, you don't know what's going to happen and whether this is going to change. And that's true. And she said, we are a political agency. And I don't know what she really meant by that. But I do know what she meant by that. What she meant was, who's in charge depends on who's in charge in the administration and what they're going to do. So we'll see. I'm always an optimist. Except for immigration reform. I'm not an optimist anymore for immigration reform, but that is the update.
Those are great updates. And thank you for taking the time to go do that. I mean, that's how Radlin spent her day today, was getting the inside
a couple of hours. Yeah. And I almost went through Zoom, and I was like, no, let's go in person. And it was good. I asked a lot of questions, a lot of clarification.
And you were right, by the way. Princess Buchanan 1 was one of the first ones on TikTok, says hello from Jamaica.
Hello from Jamaica. Yes. Hello. Indeed. I was meeting with someone from Jamaica last night, and I told them that I have been to Jamaica and that we have been to Bob Marley's house in Kingston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have.
Great trip. My mom's here. Good morning, attorneys and everyone. See you soon, God willing. Yes.
See you soon, Mom. To you. She's in the Philippines. That's why she's telling us good morning.
Yes, my mom is in Quezon City.
It's already Thursday for her. She's ahead of us.
All right, so let's grab some questions. That's enough talking.
Oh, those are great updates.
I've reached my time limit on TikTok.
I fixed it.
Does anyone else set timers on their apps so they're not on it?
And then just ignore them every time, right?
Yeah. All right, let me see here. Michael is just waiting for his I-129F to be approved. I think the last time I checked is about 13.8 months or something like that. Hang in there. Yeah, it's tough. Bala has a question. Bala says,
yeah, with all these waiting times, when you hear people say just waiting and waiting, again, that's just to really emphasizes the point that we make here every week, which is to get your stuff filed. Because the sooner you get in that line, in that wait, the sooner you get out of it. So, if you're just waiting and waiting to file, then you're really going to be waiting and waiting for the results. So get it filed.
Yep.
We can help you with it.
Absolutely. Okay. Bunja says, good evening. Thank you so much for doing this session. You are very welcome. We love coming here. I received my interview letter for the citizenship at the Norfolk USCIS office. It's 9 a.m. in 2 weeks. Good luck. I would like to know if the oath-taking ceremony would also take place that same day if I pass the interview. Is there any way I could do both on the same day? So, Bala, probably not. If all goes well, you pass, and they are recommending you to swear in to become a U.S. citizen, that oath ceremony is most likely going to be on a different day. Now, if you go in there and you say, look, I really need to get sworn in today, if at all possible, for XYZ reason. Maybe you have to go, maybe there's an urgent need to go back home and you want to fly back in with your U.S. passport. So you can try. It does not hurt to ask. It does not hurt to ask. In fact, did you see the message on the microwave today? It said something like, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So I always ask for my clients because sometimes they have a reason why they need to do something as soon as possible. So definitely ask. But typically they do not do swearing in on the same day. My mom asked, this was many years ago, she asked if she could do swearing in the same day because she wanted to go home and see her sister who was old and sick. And so they actually swore her in on the same day. Hopefully I'm getting the facts correct, Mom. Chime in if I'm completely off base, but no, they've done it before. All right.
Yeah,
Good evening,
and good
Jesus.
luck. Hope everything goes well.
Yeah.
And the oath ceremony, by the way, is, for those of you who have never been to one, is really a cool thing to see. It really is. We've been to several of them. And in fact, Radlin is invited as the guest speaker from time to time at the oath ceremonies here in Norfolk. And so those ones are even better than the other ones.
Yeah,
Ones
well,
where she's the
they're
speaker.
back in the when I'm the speaker. Yeah, thank you. He's not biased or anything. I love speaking at the oath ceremony.
No,
I've made people tear up.
I
As you
shouldn't tear
should.
up.
As you should tear up while
Mhm.
I'm speaking at the oath ceremony. Anyway, good luck. Yes, what a great day that's going to be for you when you pass the test. Make sure I'm sure you're ready for it already, but just make sure you review the questions on the actual N400 application. It's one of our tips is that yes, the civics and the history test important, but you also have to be able to answer the questions on the N400 that you filled out. I know some of you are like, yeah, of course we can answer those questions, but sometimes people have other people fill out their N400 application and they may not necessarily know what's on it or be able to orally answer the questions on the N400. So that's all. Just review what's on the N400 application. All right.
All right, you got another one there.
Yeah, let's see here. USCIS says, does sending more evidence of meeting up make our case any stronger than not sending? If I am reading this correctly, the question is the way that we met, right? Are you seeing that? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. For sure. Leading up to how you met and when you got married, for sure. Absolutely. Definitely send it in.
Yeah, I think the question is anything that tends to support a bona fide marriage is going to be better.
Yeah.
More is always going to be better.
Bona fide marriage and relationship. The field office director said, do not send in 1,000 pages of irrelevant documentation. And I wanted to raise my hand. I was like, well, sometimes some of your officers want to see all those pages. So we send lots of paper, but they are relevant. And just to show like a trend, pattern.
Yeah. Come see us. We will vet all the documents and we will make the decision on just how much to send.
I mean,
we always send just the right amount.
Just the right amount. Just the perfect amount with the baby's birth certificate right on the top. No, I mean, like if you have a bank account with your spouse and you open the bank account because you heard that immigration wanted to see a joint bank account, but there's 0.01 cents in the bank account, do not send the bank account with no money in it, no transactions. No, it's actually harmful to send something like that.
And by the way, your mom says at the end of there, see you soon, God willing. Yes, we will see you soon, God willing. We are going to be in the Philippines at the end of September, early October time period, doing some seminars and Q&As.
So yeah, if anyone is in CDO, Kaya and the Oro, we will be there doing a live Q&A. Still setting that up and more details to come on that.
Yep. So if you're in that area and you want to come see us, bring your questions and we'll answer them live for you in person. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
How about some questions over there and on TikTok?
All right. The first question up, see if you can make heads or tails from this. It's because they're a little bit missing. It says, hi, I've been waiting for my son. His document qualified date is December 17th, 2021.
Okay.
So it's not really a question there. I guess
she's over here. Let's see here. She says, my son's document qualified date is December 17th, 2021.
She added some facts. Great.
He is in Pakistan. When can he get an interview? So I'm not, unfortunately, I can't tell you when he's going to get an interview. I can tell you that there is a severe backlog with all of these cases, and really there's not a lot to do. We have been, talking to another law firm about filing lawsuits with regard to waiting for an interview. Please reach out to us if you are interested in hearing more about that. You can send us a message through Messenger. And then Ria, who is our virtual assistant in the Philippines, she can put our contact information in the comments. Oh, and our contact information, you can grab it right here as well. It's a good time to talk about our contact information.
Yeah.
How to reach us.
Yeah, you can reach out to us. You can see there, you can contact us at info@gmlaw.net, or you can just call us the old-fashioned way. The number is there, 757-464-9224, or info@gmlaw.net. Reach out to us, and we can at least, you can schedule a consultation with us. That's the first step, is to schedule a consultation, and we can get on the phone with you, or Zoom. That's usually Zoom, and really get the facts and the details from you about your case, and then analyze what the options are at that point, what the way forward will be.
All right. Fantastic. Do you want to grab a couple
Yeah, so here's another one. Aaron, Jen, if you're based in Manila, can they schedule an appointment in another country like Singapore?
They can, if you are residing there lawfully. Yes. Okay.
If you're residing there lawfully, then they can. Okay.
Yeah. So the way that looks is, so you're scheduled for Manila, and say you have a job and you have a visa and work visa to go work in Bahrain. Well, you can move your case to Bahrain, and of course it's faster. Those timeframes are faster.
Yeah, and speaking of Singapore, in addition to the Philippines is our primary location for our Q&A and legal work that we're going to be doing there. We may try to expand. We're also going to be in Singapore during the same time period, and we'll see. We may be able to set something up there.
We are trying. That's in the works as well. So we will keep you posted. This is September 28th through October 8th.
Yep.
So
September 28th through October 8th, we will be in Singapore and the Philippines. Not in Manila, by the way. We will be in Cagayan de Oro, the city of gold.
The city of gold. Haven't been there.
I'm going to find some gold. I'm going to go looking for sure.
Good luck with that. All right. You want to grab another question? Hello from Central Virginia. Hello from Coastal Virginia.
Yeah. Hello from Central Virginia. Hello from Coastal Virginia. That's right.
You're close. Is that Fred?
Yeah, it is Fred.
I can't see.
Yep, that's
at all.
That's
it's
Fred.
too far.
For those of you who are not Virginians, that's just
it's Virginia talk.
It's Virginia talk. We have regions. Okay, so Coco Fun Life, I love that. Coco Fun Life wants to know how long does it take to process a fiancé visa?
So right now, the processing times for a fiancé visa, I just checked them. I think the actual petition is 13 months. So that is the very first step in a fiancé visa. The fiancé visa process is to file the I-129F petition. And then once that gets approved, then it gets transferred over to the National Visa Center, where there you have to complete the DS-160, pay the fees. The transfer itself takes a couple of months, and then once visa interviews are available, and then it gets transferred to the embassy, where you then schedule your medical and then your interview. So that last piece of the puzzle, which is when can we be scheduled for an interview, is the unknown right now. It usually took a few months. Right now, because of COVID and the backlogs, very severe backlogs, it can take many more months than that. So right now, for the very first part, just to give you a time, because everyone loves a time to hold on to get the I-129F approved, it's about 13 months right now, which is an extremely long time.
Yeah, but not as long as Michael thinks it takes.
Michael says it takes forever. He's waiting. I mean, he's waiting for his fiance. It's yeah. I listen, Michael.
Feels like forever, I'm sure.
Well, Michael, if you can imagine, I think it was actually February of 2020 or maybe January of 2020 when I'm sitting here advising people that they should definitely file the fiance visa over getting married because yeah, it's way faster. That was just not the case. During COVID, they were not even processing. They were not even interviewing people who had fiance visa cases. So that was I didn't know, but it was terrible advice at the time. Those folks are here now, though. The fiancés are here now, but that took forever. All right, your mom's here.
Oh, hi, Mama.
Moms are here. Moms are representing.
Yeah, our mothers. See, this is
yeah.
Moms are the best.
Yeah, they're here just watching us. Mm-hmm. And I have to say that our parents, well, our moms, they were the first ones they were the only ones when we were live streaming 2.5 years ago.
That's right.
So
our very
God bless our mothers. Yeah, they're amazing.
Our very first live streams had, well, and my Aunt Jill.
Yeah, maybe Aunt Sue. my cousins, my aunts weren't even on it. You know, they were like, I've already done the immigration process. Don't need to hear more about it. Okay, let's grab a question.
Okay, so Toxicos wants to know, if my felony gets expunged, can I renew my DACA? So those of you who don't know, DACA is if you have, there are certain requirements to apply for it, and certain requirements. Oh, and we just were saying that. Look, and here's Jill. Hi, Jill. My Aunt Jill.
Aunt Jill. See, it's the trio.
Yes,
just got us through. We would just
joining us from South.
We would just Florida. Be talking Hi, to Jill. Them for the first couple of lives. Anyway, go ahead. You got
Toxicos, that. Yeah, you're going to be barred from DACA if you have a felony conviction or even a serious misdemeanor. And I won't go into the details about what the serious misdemeanors are. DUI is one example. But as far as something that's been expunged, my answer to that is going to be, it depends on what kind of an expungement we're talking about. If it's a real expungement, and by that I mean you were charged with something and you were found not guilty of it on the merits of the case and it was dismissed, but now it's showing up and you want to have it expunged and you're able to, then that may be successful for you. If the expungement is coming from something else, like, well, the deal was if I just, I was convicted of it, but if I stayed out of trouble for 5 years, then they would drop it and then I could try to have it sealed. That's going to be a tougher situation for you because the facts are still going to be there that constitute the felony.
Yep.
And you still will have admitted you committed them or you were convicted of committed them. And so we would need to know more about the expungement to answer that fully. Do you want to add anything to that? That was
Toxicos?
Toxicos, yeah.
Come call us, please. 757-464-9224, 757-464-9224. Give us a call and we will take a look at that for you. Absolutely.
That's going to depend on a lot, very fact specific.
Because what if it is a true expungement? Then yes.
If it's a true expungement,
let's take a look at it. Yeah.
Then you may be in good shape.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so Jelly May has a question. I'm not going to put on the board because it's really long. But here's a question. I have a question about my mom's I-90 replacement for permanent resident card. My mom and I have been waiting to receive our green card until now. We don't have it yet. We submitted our application on June 12th, 2020, and then we attended our biometrics on August 18th, 2021. I always check my USCIS account on what is the status of our green card, but all it says is that case is being actively reviewed by USCIS. What can my mom and I do because we need? So Jelly May, your question cut off. It was that long, but it was probably going to say we need our green cards, right? Maybe we need the green cards to travel. So what I can say is that I-90s are taking a really long time. I haven't checked the processing times of an I-90 recently, but they are taking a long time. Now, 2 years seems kind of long, but If it's outside of processing times, hopefully you've made inquiries and you've called the 1-800 number to do a status inquiry on that. If not, and you need to, again, your question got cut off, you need proof that you are a green card holder and you don't have one because your green cards have expired, you can always do an info pass appointment and get proof of your lawful permanent resident status. If your passport is valid and it has not expired, they will put in what's called an I-551 stamp in your passport, and that is going to be proof that you are a lawful permanent resident. It's good to travel with, it's good to work with, whatever you need to do to show proof that you are a lawful permanent resident. If you do not have a passport and it has expired, your passport has expired, they will give you a piece of, it's like a little index card, and it has your picture on it, and that is also proof of lawful permanent resident status. One of my clients, he was just like, this is very unprofessional. I was like, it's temporary. It's like a temporary piece of paper, but you can also use that for work authorization if you need to show that you're, can work and things like that. All right. Hopefully that answered your question. All right. Should I grab Abinay's, or do you want to grab a question there? I say we go back and forth.
Okay. So, KKW Seat wants to know, I'm trying to sweet, wants to know if I'm getting my green card through my oldest child, okay, how can I help my youngest child who is out of status? So I guess
how young is the youngest, right? Quick answer to that. One strategy, again, this, I don't know anything about this person's case, background, history. Child is out of status. Don't know how old the child is, but let's just say the child is 17. Let's just say 17. Why did it take so long for me to come up with an age? All right, let's just say the child is 17. Mom gets a green card. Mom can file green card for the 17-year-old. So the child has not reached the age of 18. So far, minors cannot accrue unlawful presence. So if the child returns back to their country and then does consular processing, they may be able to do that if they have not accrued any unlawful presence. So that's one way, but there could be a couple of other different ways to do that. I'm sure mom is not crazy about the idea of their child leaving the country with maybe a problem right at the interview. So my recommendation is please give us a call. If you want to go to an attorney in your backyard, in your town, you want to see the lawyer, you want them to be in your zip code, fine, that's great. No worries. We're not offended at all, but please contact someone to help you solve this problem, right? Nothing can be more important than trying to figure out the status of your child, or it could be your child, it could be your spouse, it could be whatever, whatever family member. It's not just you, it's everyone else who, may have a similar question. And again, we love coming on our live stream. And one of the main things of our live stream really is to make you go get someone to take a look at your case, right? That you are on the right track. I've done a couple of consultations recently. Deep breath. And it's sad, guys. It's really sad when I think about a family member who could have been here 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's going to take another 10 years. And this has been, and it's frustrating to me just as a person who likes to help other people to, for whatever reason, this person didn't go see, this family did not go see a lawyer, and this family didn't go see an attorney, and this family didn't, because you can do stuff online. You can download the form and you can fill it out and you can send it off. But like, you got to follow up with that. You can't just let it linger forever and ever and ever. You know,
Yeah.
I've just had to tell some bad news to people that, yeah, you actually needed to file an individual I-130 petition for your stepchild because you're a U.S. citizen, you know? So, and now they've aged out. And so,
Yeah, some of these are really like, these are mistakes that were easily avoidable. So if you are on the fence about talking to an attorney, get off the fence and go talk to a professional. Hopefully it's us, but like Radlin said, if it's not us, if you want to go see somebody who's, in Phoenix because you live in Phoenix, that's fine, fair enough. But please seek some professional advice. This is a super important thing that you're doing, and the mistakes are really easy to make. And it's not like when something goes a little off in your immigration case that you just pick up the phone and call customer service and then they help you over the phone to check the right box because you checked the wrong thing. Like every time you make a mistake, it just sets it in this process again that takes, a very long time. So mistakes are really costly.
Yeah.
And so you should pay somebody to give you some professional advice about it. I really cannot emphasize that enough.
Yeah.
It's just too important to try to wing it on your own. It really is. All right.
Yeah. And again, I think about these cases and there have been many of them. I mean, and they are typically dealing with, people who didn't know that they could file for their step kid, or a permanent resident who didn't know they could file for their child who was unmarried. I mean, so it's just about misinformation about maybe what they've heard or what they've done, or just not doing the right thing in those types of cases. So, they're typically dealing with the children. And I'm here to say, and I'm going to just speak to the petitioners out there who are husbands. Okay. When you petition for your wife, I promise you, she wants her children to also come. You guys might have this crazy plan, like, we'll bring the kids over later. No, do not do that. Do not do that. You will have a short marriage, right? I promise you, every single case where there's been a delay in bringing the kids over, whether it's the fiance visa, the spousal visa, whatever it is, there's a problem. There's a problem, and it causes a lot of friction in the marriage and the relationship. So please don't think you're going to bring these kids over later and that you can do it later. Later turns into 5 years, and you have your wife looking at you like she wants to kill you when the immigration lawyer says, well, you screwed this up and now it's going to take 10 years. So I'm sorry, that is not a legal terminology.
That's not legal advice. That's marriage advice.
That's marriage advice. That's right. I mean, and I've seen it so many times. All right, let's get off the soapbox. Don't ignore the fact that your wife is going to want her children to be with her, not in 15 years, but now. All right.
Amon wants to know, I'm an American citizen and I've changed my name at the court. Do I have to inform immigration? So you got a naturalized citizen, and after they become a citizen, at some point they've decided they're going to go change their name legally, and they want to know that do they need to go back and follow up with immigration, or is the fact that they're a citizen now and they've done this name change, they don't have
to that's a really good question. I'm going to I don't have this in black and white anywhere, but I'm going to say you do not have to go back and change. There's nothing to change. There's nowhere. They don't care. There's no form.
Yeah. we can look into that a little more deeply. But my gut says no. I mean, once you're a citizen, that's it. You're done with immigration.
Yep.
And you can do whatever you want without dealing with them.
Now, if you are petitioning for family members,
the
you
visa.
are going to have to put all of the names that you have used on the actual application, the petition. So all the
Yeah.
names that you used, and you will also have to submit all of the documents that are showing the name change. So, but there's nothing that you individually have to do in order to comply with any immigration rule that, if you're a U.S. citizen, a naturalized U.S. citizen, you have to change your name. I mean, you have to inform them about the name change.
Right.
All right.
Okay, you want to grab some there? You want to grab one more off of TikTok here?
I'll grab this here. Maud is writing in from YouTube. B1, B2 married green card holder inside the U.S. and submitted the green card application, I-130, okay, on valid visa. But after that, the B1, B2 expired. Can he wait for the interview inside the United States? Legal. All right. So essentially, great question.
Yeah, I was just
Fantastic
gonna
question.
say,
Yeah.
good technical question.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So there's a
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
there's a
it's
gnat.
I know.
My attorney said that she should leave. Or he. Okay.
Attorney said to them, you should leave.
Yeah. So the issue here is, did you file this I-130 green card, all this stuff while the visa bulletin was current? Okay. And also, if your attorney did this, why did they file this stuff if they're now telling you that she should leave or he should leave? So I'm confused. If you would like a second opinion, I would love to take a look at your documents. But for my, and again, every single case is different. But when I file an I-130, I-45, etc., for my lawful permanent resident spouses who have entered on a B1, B2, and it's current, the visa bulletin is current, we adjust status. And that's why you filed the green card application. I mean, if you couldn't adjust status, then why did you file the green card application? So if you filed, there was an application for citizenship for my wife, but they refused. I don't see how that's relevant. Anyhow, love to give you a second opinion on that, but I had to have to take a look at all of your documents, Ahmad. Down there on the ticker below, you can see how to get in touch with us. But really, really great question. I don't know why she can't adjust status, but there must be a reason, right? I would listen to your lawyer, but I would also get a second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Great question, though.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify. That's right. Okay. We have.
Okay, May here has a lot of legal
questions.
Yeah, there's a lot
legal
of,
issues.
A lot of lingo in this one. So
Okay.
This is for the real immigration crowd out there.
Okay. Well, hopefully I passed the real immigration crowd test.
Right. I have an RFE
Yeah.
on my AOS and haven't responded yet. Is my EAD and AP halted now as well?
Yes. Yes. They will not issue that until you respond to the RFE.
All right.
Did you guys get that?
Request for evidence, adjustment of status, employment authorization document. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the question. She has an adjustment of status pending. She got an RFE. Request for evidence, which is asking her to submit more documents for whatever it is. If she does not respond to that, then they're going to hold on to the approval of the employment authorization document before they approve that. So yeah. Great question. Really great question. Loved it. But you're right. The lingo. Is good stuff. She sounds like an immigration lawyer.
Talk the talk for sure.
She's on the the portals, the web chats. I don't have any more questions over here. So
all right, David Garcia, or David wants to know, if an expedited removal waiver could be possible for with a 10-year marriage, 3 kids with one of them a citizen. Oh, I think the marriage is to a citizen.
Can it
Expedited removal waiver.
possibly? We'd have to take a look at that. Why were they removed? I mean, there's a lot going on there. Maybe a motion to reopen. Where is this person? So there's a lot going on there. We would need more info, and would love to sit down and talk to you about it.
Yep.
We do all virtual appointments, by the way, guys. Even if you live in our backyard, we are still doing virtual appointments. It has just worked out great for us and for our team and for our clients.
Yeah.
One of our team members has COVID right now. It really has less to do with COVID these days, but more to do with the efficiencies in our office, and just, our clients are everywhere now. So they are all virtual, and yes, it does keep everyone safe as well.
Yep.
All right.
And Kath wants to know, Humble Baby wants to know how difficult it is for 2 daughters. They are citizens. Wait a second. I misread that. I thought they were citizens and wanted to bring their mother from Canada. They're citizens in Canada.
Okay.
To file for their mother.
Is this a Canadian immigration question?
Yeah, I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
That's going to have to be, you're going to need to talk to an immigration lawyer in Canada, if we're reading this correctly. For my 2 daughters who are citizens in Canada to file for their mother. Yeah. I would reach out to someone in Canada about Canadian immigration.
Yes, send us a message through Messenger, and we can send you the AILA list of immigration attorneys, and there are some Canadian immigration lawyers in there. So let's see. Rosalie says, I just want to say hi to you both and thank you for answering my immigration questions previously. You are very welcome. Hi from the Bay Area, people. Oh, we were just in the Bay Area. You're having a heat wave right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. We were just in San Francisco.
In Chinatown?
Where we were staying about a month ago, and drove up through Sausalito and John Muir Redwood Forest, crossed the bay over through Oakland on our way out to Yosemite. That was awesome.
Yes. What a beautiful state you have.
You do have a beautiful state. Bay Area was absolutely gorgeous.
Yes. It was awesome.
And nice. Everybody was so friendly as well.
Okay. So here Melanie says, it's been 2 years since we responded to the NOID RFE It's been 2 years since we responded to the NOID RFE from my I-130, and we still did not get any results. Should I wait to refile it again? Should I wait or refile it again? Wow. 2 years. I mean, that's a really long time. Have you sought any congressional liaison assistance? I mean, the other thing is, who's it for? And does it go with green card application? I have a lot of follow-up questions about this. If it's an RFE, and if it's for a case where a visa is not available anyway, not that surprising, but let us know who is it for, and was it filed with anything? Was it standalone I-130? I'm just curious, but feel free to reach out to us, Melanie. We'd be happy to take a look at that for you. So Michael, he says, so just to confirm, no matter where your beneficiary is, London in my case, and the processing time in the United States will remain the same, 13 and a half months. Yes, that is correct. Sorry, Michael. The certain countries move faster, Michael, on the interview stage because there's not as much of a backlog. But with the I-129F, we're all in the same pot, so to speak. Boat. I should say boat.
Same boat.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat. Not pot. That doesn't even make any sense. Does anyone say we're all in the same pot? I kind of was thinking we're all cooking like crabs in the same pot, trying to get out.
I think you can start a new trend with that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just that didn't hit right.
So, any thoughts on how long it takes to get a replacement green card? They filed their request in May 10th of 2022 and have not gotten any updates yet.
May, June, July, August, September.
4 months. Not quite 4 months.
Not anytime soon. They're taking over a year. So,
All right.
as I mentioned before, please, if you need the proof that you are a lawful permanent resident, make an InfoPass appointment. They will give you an InfoPass appointment. They will stamp your passport so you can travel or work if you need it. So
be
do
patient.
that.
Be patient. You got about 8 months to go.
Well, the other people that wrote in have been waiting for like 2 years, so it could be longer than that. And also, might I recommend that you apply for citizenship if you are eligible, so you don't have to keep renewing your green card. And we can help with that too.
All right.
Great questions tonight, guys. Loving them.
Here's one that would require a lot more. It's been posted it was early on. I don't want to ignore it, but we would need well, I'll see if you take a stab at it if you want.
Yeah, sure.
But I think we need a lot more information. But they want to know if an affair counts as emotional abuse. If their spouse had an affair, does that count as emotional abuse?
By itself, my opinion is no. So if someone came to me and we're evaluating for a VAWA claim, and they said, my spouse had an affair, and that was that. This is why I'm claiming, emotional abuse. I would say I do not think that rises to the level of meeting the requirements of VAWA. That by itself. Now, often that is not the only thing that's happening. So it is hard for our clients to tell, even to us who, we're attorneys and we're trying to help them, the full story of what has happened, right? So you should still get your case evaluated, because you're on TikTok, right? You're writing a comment. I mean, I'm sure you don't want to put everything out on TikTok as far as what has happened to you in your marriage. So we would have to dig a little bit deeper and see if there are other factors to consider.
All right.
Okay. So May Sweet, we already answered her question about helping the youngest child that popped up here.
Yep.
And then we have our contact information. Again, let me just review that, guys. If you want to contact us for a consultation, you can give us a call at 757-464-9224. Our hours of operation are 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. And you can also send us an email at info@gmlaw.net. And you can reach out to us through Messenger as well.
All right. And My Sweet says she did not hear the answer here. We want to revisit. She's getting her green card through her oldest child, and she wants to know then how she will be able to help her youngest child who is out of status.
Gotcha. So we would have to take a look at the case and evaluate it. And I had a scenario, say the child is 16 years old and you file the petition for the child, and you'd have to send the child out before the age of 18. So he or she does not accrue unlawful presence. So minors do not accrue unlawful presence. And in this case, the minor is up to the age of 18. Whereas a child is defined under immigration law as under 21. So it can be a little bit confusing. So there are ways, but the child would have to consular process in this particular scenario. But I don't know the facts of your case, or, whether you guys are 245I grandfathered and he could potentially do an adjustment. So there is a lot to consider, and would not be able to answer the question without getting more facts. And if you'd like to give us a call, we'd be happy to meet with you and sort it out.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. Carlo wants to know, my 24-month extension letter just expired. Am I still able to travel within the United States?
24-month extension for
Yeah.
for what?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering as well.
Are we talking about the advanced parole or?
I don't. I was just scrolling here to see if maybe there
Okay.
was any additional information on her question, but I don't see it.
Okay, see here. Melissa says, I applied 15 years ago. An affidavit of support with 3 minors now approved. Are they still eligible? They are now over 18. El Salvador. I'm not sure what's going on here, Melissa. If you're saying you filed an I-130 petition 15 years ago for 3 minors, is the petition still alive? The affidavit of support is the 864, and that is submitted at the National Visa Center stage. So I'm a little bit confused about the question because it's talking about the affidavit of support. So is the I-130, let's just say, are they still eligible? They're now over 18, possibly. We'd have to take a look at the visa bulletin. I mean, anything on the visa bulletin 15 years, if these are your children. Also, I'm not sure about that. So I'm not sure about what you're asking. And if you're talking about providing an affidavit of support to 3 minors, that's a different issue. If you're talking about these are your own children and you filed an I-130 petition for them, but maybe you didn't move on to the next step and you're wondering, hey, is this petition still good? We'd have to take a look at that. All right.
Okay. And here's kind of open-ended question, but it's one we get a lot, so we may as well tackle it.
Okay.
Comes often. We've got Canelo here, U.S. citizen, getting married in Mexico in November. Congratulations.
Congrats.
And then will be coming back and then is going to petition for his wife. And he wants to know how long and is that process going to be? And maybe you could also just talk about what that process would be, because I'm sure a lot of other people have similar questions.
I can't. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This is a question that we answer every week.
Yeah,
Can you just watch last week's?
She's
I'm just kidding.
We get some version.
Why is this question coming at 8:58? Like if it were 8 o'clock, it was like on that question. Okay.
Yeah. This will
in all seriousness.
This will take us home to the 1 hour mark.
This will take us home. Just hit it right out of the park. Okay, who asked this question?
It's been good having you all here this evening. And I'm sorry, I scrolled because I was actually optimistic that maybe after it we'd be able to squeeze in one more, but go ahead. It's Canelo 23.
Okay, Canelo. So first off, yes, congratulations. How very exciting to be getting married in November. That's awesome and a great month to get married.
Yeah.
The very first step is to file the I-130 petition. And the I-130 petition, looking at recent processing times, it can take up to 16 months for USCIS to approve that. If you joined us earlier, then you know that USCIS is really trying to improve their efficiencies. Many of you who have been waiting, you're like, I'm not holding my breath. So maybe you don't want to hold your breath about that either, but hopefully those processing times get better. So let's just say you go to it goes to the Vermont Service Center, which is the longest processing times right now, currently, as we speak, 16 months. So 16 months. Once USCIS approves that petition, then your case is going to go to the National Visa Center. And that takes a couple of months to transfer to the National Visa Center. And processing the National Visa Center usually takes 3 to 4 months. And then once processing is done at the National Visa Center, they will send your case to Ciudad Juarez, where your wife will then, schedule an interview and her medical. But the big factor that is unknown is how long it's going to take to get an interview in Juarez. Juarez is one of the most backed up embassies for immigrant visas right now. And hopefully that has answered your question, because our timekeeper child is here.
I just wanted to note that you're in for a real treat because we went to one of our dear friends, and actually he was one of our groomsmen in our wedding. He got married in Mexicali. We've been to a wedding in Mexico, and it was really cool.
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Hi, Ray.
Okay, here's our time.
Here's our timekeeper, our youngest daughter,
I just ran
who just ran up the
Mhm.
steps. She's 11 and she knows what time it is. It's time for dinner.
Yep.
And
time
it's
for
time for
dinner.
Facebook,
That's
a
right.
live stream, and our TikTok to end.
So we've got some questions here that weren't answered, and we can get to those a little bit later. But we will answer them. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for all the questions. It's been awesome as per usual.
Maybe you can use these
And
questions
we were-
to make some TikToks.
Yeah. We will be back on Wednesday. Yes.
Yep. Next Wednesday, 8 to
Next
9.
Wednesday.
Okay,
All right.
everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
2 thumbs up,
It's been
guys.
a ton of fun. We will see you here
Thank you.
next week. Bring your questions. We got the answers.
Bye. Two thumbs up.